What's a strange thing your body does that you assume happens to everyone but you've never bothered to ask? Mine is precordial catch, which is where it hurts to breathe in too far for a few minutes. Pretty obnoxious. I've had this since I was 14, and I always secretly thought I had some sort of heart defect. This is the most useful Wikipedia entry I've ever seen in my life. I will reap hundreds of extra hours of sleep not worrying about my future heart attack. Thank you. I can hear the high-pitched hum from TVs and other electronic devices. I learned a few years ago not everyone can do that. Old core TVs were the worst. I could hear the downstairs TV from my bedroom upstairs. My mom would ask my dad if he turned off the TV, and I'd say nope, and sure enough, it was on. In high school, my biology teacher had a TV cart in the room, but the screen was black, and he started lecturing. I wound up asking if we weren't going to use the TV, could we turn it off, please? He and the entire class gave me shit claiming it was off, and to stop being a pain in the ass. When he finally checked it, sure enough, it was on. He never apologized either. That jerk. Sometimes I can hear my blood pumping in my ears. When I was a little kid I thought it was my train of thought. I notice this a lot when I'm laying down with my head on a pillow. Occasionally my hearing will go out and everything will go dull, and then a high-pitched frequency screeches for a few minutes. No one else hears it and everything else seems really hushed while it's happening. Maybe it's the aliens. Eustachian tube draining blocked and then drains. Fluid behind eardrum. Fix. 1. Wet pinky finger. 2. Stick finger in ear. 3. Pry a bit to create vacuum. Instantly goes away. You piece of shit, you just made me give myself a wet willy. I often feel my phone vibrate in my pocket only to check it, and have no new notifications, or even weirder, my phone not even in my pocket. Phantom cell phone. That's happened to me before. Or a phantom vibrator? Oh, did I forget to take the vibrator out of my anus again? Let me just. It's not there. I read somewhere that the muscles have always vibrated like that from time to time, just to check that everything is working properly, but the brain has just ignored it because it has never meant anything. With the invention of cell phones, a vibration by the hip actually means something, so now the brain notices the vibrations. If I fart while sitting down I feel it bubble up the front. I'm female by the way. Ugh, it tickles so bad. I've had it where the bubble went between my lips and wasn't popping. I was wiggling around trying to get it to pop without looking like an idiot, lol. Oh, and let me add this. It feels ducking amazing, especially if you're in a work meeting and have a vajayjayik. If you can get a fart position just right, you can run it over the itch to relieve it. So there, it's all out in the open now. Today I learned women can scratch their vajayjay with a fart bubble. Once in a while it feels like when I'm straightening my elbow it's a little bit out of place and is going to crack something. I have to bend my elbow back in and realign it. Sometimes when I'm sleeping, my body will jolt for a split second, as if someone has shocked me. It wakes me up briefly and scares my wife. It's like my brain is trying to jumpstart my body. This is actually really common. Called a hypnic jerk. Basically what happens is your muscles relax as you're trying to fall asleep and your brain sometimes misinterprets this as you falling down. The jolt is your muscles tensing up in an effort to get you upright. I love that my brain can align its dreams with those reactions. Sometimes I'm playing baseball and just strike the ball. Sometimes I'm hiking and I slip. Either way, the jolt hits me just when it should. Were my dreams real? When I stand up, after sitting or laying down for more than 5 minutes I get lightheaded or my heart starts beating really weirdly. I got a similar problem. If I stand up really quick, after laying my head hurts and I go blind for a few seconds. It's lupus. Feeling my heartbeat in all different parts of my body without even touching to feel for it. However, when I actually try to look for my heartbeat I can't find it at all. Like when you can hear it echoing off your pillow through your ear in bed. Have you checked under your bed lately? I was going to get terrified by this. Then I realized I'm under my bed. I have one of them high up beds with a ladder on it, and my desk right under it. I can make a loud rumbling sound in my ears at will without moving any muscle in my face. I have no idea what this is called, but it kind of sounds like when you put your ear to a seashell at the beach or a giant earthquake is happening. Hi, that's the voluntary contraction of tensor tympani, a small muscle that pulls tension on the eardrum. Also the muscle that causes ear pain when running in the cold. I start crying involuntarily every time I take a shot. Every ducking time. I guess you could say you were moved. Get out. Do you also salivate excessively? When I'm in the bathroom I tend to poo/pee/cry/spit simultaneously. I'm pretty sure you need an exorcist. When I look at the sun, I sneeze. It's useful when I need to sneeze. Just run outside and look at the sun. Apparently it's an actual thing. Photic sneeze reflex. Don't know if it happens to anyone else, but sometimes when I yawn, my mouth squirts out a little saliva. Am I normal? It has a name, Gleeking. At my middle school, we all learned to do this on command and would frequently have Gleeking contests. I'll sometimes get a random pain in one of my boobs that lasts only a second then goes away. But most of my female friends say it happens to them too, so I've never asked about it. I get those, but in my balls. Yep. My sisters and I call them boob shocks. If I eat, usually something carb-y, like pancakes, without taking a drink of some liquid, I feel like all the food gets caught in my chest. And then when I do drink, it actually kind of painful for a few sips, but then I can feel the food move and the passageway clear. I always thought it was just eating too fast. Anyone else? Tonsil stones or tonsillolith. They're small white/yellowish blob that randomly comes out of my mouth sometimes. And they smell extremely bad. Thought it only happened to me until I found YouTube videos of people purposely removing these tonsil stones from their mouth, along with popping giant zits videos as recommendation. Tonsil stones are gross. I'll go months without coughing one up, then I'll get 2 or 3 a day for a few days. The worst is I know they smell horrible, but I'm still gonna take a quick whiff. Those things smell worse than dead, decaying meat. I flush those out with a non-eject water syringe. I can't stand the idea of those things spoiling my breath. My brother calls his death breath. Once, in college, I was walking with a girlfriend and mid-sentence this popcorn kernel-sized blob appeared on my tongue. I spat it out without making a scene, but I was totally grossed out. I won't let that take me by surprise again. So you're like an oyster. I get the shudders when I poo sometimes. My body involuntarily wiggles for a second, but only happens sometimes. Never told anyone that. I think you've been cursed by El Pupacabra. Shudgasms. I forget to breathe sometimes. I start to breathe really shallow and then just stop for a little bit, then I realize oh shit, I'm not breathing. And I'm breathing manually. Hearing a high-pitched noise that is not quite tinnitus. When it is really quiet, I always hear music in my head. If I sit in a perfectly quiet room I hear melodies. Everything has a rhythm to it. There is no such thing as white noise to me. It's hard to describe. The strange part is that I'm not a musical person. I don't play, write, sing, etc, etc. I've heard hearing music when there is none can be the onset of or mild schizophrenia. When I yawn, I get tears in both my eyes. Everyone asks me if I'm crying, and I have to explain every time I yawn. Strange pains in various parts of my body. Sometimes sharp, sometimes dull, sometimes recurring, sometimes a one-off. For example, every now and then and with no discernible cause I will get a sharp pain in my head around the frontal lobe on the right. And then it disappears and everything is fine for months on end. I get an e-click that hurts when I stand up, but again it only happens once in a while and just my right knee. I can sit back down and repeat the motion and nothing. I also get a dull neck pain, but I think that's to do with posture. I think I'm getting old. I get those too. The hypochondriac's nightmare. Oh god, I'm having a brain tumor. Oh god, I'm having a heart attack. Oh god, I'm having a stroke. Oh god, I'm getting Lou Gehrig's disease. Oh god, I have throat cancer. I have nothing. When you close both eyes and still see dazzling angular shapes in different colors and patterns blipping in and out existence. This is from stimulation of the optic nerve or retina, so the eye doesn't realize it's closed and continues to transmit signals in the form of a light show to your brain. This is only suspicious if you see the shapes, spots, flashes or weird lines floating in your vision. when your eyes open. Cool. It's like a screensaver for your brain. Very often I get a weird sound in my throat, like air/liquid in my vocal cord. I've never heard anybody else have that sound. You get a sound coming from your throat? That is strange. Sometimes I'll spasm and shake my head involuntarily. Whenever I'm about to throw up, my mouth fills with metallic tasting saliva. Like my saliva glands just go into overdrive. I can always tell a good minute before I'm about to throw up because of this. The only person I know that also has this happen is my brother. I've mentioned it to so many of my friends and none of them know what I'm talking about. Before vomiting, your mouth fills with saliva in order to coat your mouth/teeth and protect it from the acid. It is normal. Your friends probably don't notice it happening. Scratching one part of my body and feeling it in another part as well. I don't shut blood when I eat chipotle. Oh, and I have tiny bone lumps right behind my ears where my glasses sit comfortably on. This has always confused me. I mean, how wussy does your stomach have to be to not be able to handle Americanized Mexican fast food? Once in a while, when I eat something sugary, I get a really sharp pain /around my ears. Like really sharp, it sucks. I did some reading on it. I think it has something to do with the salivary glands. Maybe. I have no idea why it's triggered by sugar though. That little pink thing in the corner of your eyes? My left one squeaks when I rub my eye or even remotely touch it. A mouse lives there. Stop terrorizing it. I get pee shivers. My husband has recently told me that it's not that abnormal. More common in men than in women. We talked about it after he saw me do the shiver while peeing. He gets them too. Sometimes, when I come, my right testicle retracts up into my body for a little bit. The first time it happened, it freaked me out, but then it went back to normal, and it's happened many times since then, but I've gotten used to it.